Andy makes an interesting point. Once you hit that kill switch, you can't restart the truck until you reset both the truck and the kill box itself.
That's exactly right, Gary.
We take a look at Gary Porter. They've gone to work. That truck is back in competition, the Carolina Crusher.
Gary, you've been around racing a long time. Things like this always happen, don't they? There's something to get these guys going, and the Crusher is trying to pull the Cinderella story of the day, but Taurus is not going to be reading the same book that the Crusher is.
Jack Willman Jr., the far lane. Gary Porter, the near lane. And it looks like the youngster may have the advantage. Yes, Willman will win it.
Gary, did you see how far he cleared the last set of cars? And look at the time.
That will give him the bye to the finals. 7.56 is there with a big thumbs up. He runs over to congratulate Junior on his victory over Gary Porter and Carolina Crusher.
You know, Gary, I noticed something else about that team. Those guys run everywhere they go. Watch this. They won't walk anywhere. Watch this. Got to run. There you go. What'd I say?
Just a tad animated as well.
Hey, that's why they're good, I guess. They're going to the final. That's all that counts.
I'm wondering, though, Army, if there's a problem with Taurus. Because of all that animation, they acted like there might be something they had to rectify before the championship round. Let's talk to the driver, young Jack.
Everything's happening real quick. What's going on out there?
I broke some more stuff off the back suspension, bottoming out, and my dad, which is the owner of the truck, he's taking it back to get the repairs done for the next round.
Okay, what he's talking about, I'm going to let you go. You can take off. The situation is the pit area is about a quarter of a mile away. He's got to come back in the station lanes to get ready to go. Dad's taking the truck back. Everybody's running around here. It's typical thrashing. We're getting ready to go into the finals. Hang on.
Young Jack will go to the finals. He has a bye from the semifinals, which are actually coming up next. Stay with us.
Brought to you by Gaetano.
We were talking earlier about Cinderella stories. This nightlife could be the Cinderella story. We know Andy Brass has been here before, but this kid coming out, like we say, let Wayne do it. Well, Wayne's doing a pretty good job today to be a new driver in this truck.
But there's nothing like experience in the cockpit, and this young man right here from St. Louis, Andy Brass, has the equipment, he has the experience, and he has the talent. It would be a tall order for nightlife to beat Bigfoot in this one.
We're going to find out real quick.
It's all over right
Final
there.
Whoa, wait a minute. Look here. Okay, Brass comes back. Boy, he just got a natural feel for that truck. It's amazing that you actually have something called finesse with a 13,000-pound truck. But you look at it, Gary, how he smooths it back in right there.
Andy Brass could conduct a driving clinic with Bigfoot 8. Well, there's the man that lost that round, but we'll see more of him in the future. Let's go down right now, and there's a big smile, and talk to young Jack Willman before the finals.
Okay, Jack, you and Bigfoot in the final. You've been there before. Can you handle him?
I'm going to give it my best shot. You know, he's a tough competitor, and number 8, I think, is our best Bigfoot, and I'm going to give it my best shot.
So it will be Chevrolet versus Ford in the championship. The fans are ready here in Memphis. These four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Nationals are loaded with activities for the truck enthusiasts as well as the entire family. For information, call or write the Special Event Company. Well, the youngster, it's almost David and Goliath, but there is a look at Jack Willman Jr. in Taurus, the GMC, a truck owned by his father. He will take on Andy Brass and Bigfoot. The road to the final, Taurus defeated Nightmare and the Carolina Crusher, and then he had a bye to the finals, whereas Bigfoot defeated USA 1, King Crunch, and Nightlife. And there's a look at Bigfoot 8.
There's an old saying in motorsports, Gary Lee, and you know it as well as I do. The difference between men and boys is the price of the toys. And ironically, the two biggest toy manufacturers in the country are sponsoring to the competitors. The Tonka toy, it'll be on the side of the Taurus truck. The Mattel Hot Wheel, it goes to the side of Bigfoot. The classic Chevrolet Ford new driver manufacturer. Side by side of half-track, Gary Lee.
It's still side by side, almost a photo finish.
I can't call
Who won it? I can't tell. Who won that thing?
That could be. We could have just seen the best monster truck race ever. Side by side, neither kid would blink. Nobody wanted to back off on the other guy. What a race here in Memphis.
You have to be impressed, Army, with this youngster, Jack Willman Jr. He went up against the most formidable of foes in Bigfoot, and he may have beaten him. Let's watch right here. Oh, it looks like, I won't call it.
We're going to let the track crew tell us who won that. I don't know. I've seen a lot. I've been around a lot. That's the best I've ever seen, Gary Lee.
Well, who are they going to give it to? Watch this. Let's watch from this angle as Jack Willman Sr. takes a look, and I can't tell from that angle.
Oh, that's the
He
third time.
seems to think that perhaps his son has won. As we take a look one more time, Army, see if you can't get those two drivers together to get their comments, as once again it is too close from our vantage point to call.
Okay, the word we get, Gary, coming over the headset, winner goes to the Chevrolet by 4/1000 of a second. Congratulations to you.
Yeah, it's a tough run, you know, Bigfoot 8, you know, it's the toughest truck Bigfoot's got, and it's tough to beat.
Let me bounce over here to Andy. Andy, congratulations on that. Was super. I've played this game a long time, gentlemen. That had to be the best monster truck race I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was a real close race, probably the hardest one I've had to run. Of course, his new truck is hard to beat, and I knew we was going to have to pull a good light on him to get him, and all the way down through there it was close, and I knew it was going to be close to the end.
Well, one of the questions we had at the beginning of the show, have the new technology trucks arrived? I think the answer is yes, because they were both in the final today. Gary?
Let's take a ride with Jack Jr. in perhaps the best monster truck race ever. He's on the hammer hard over the first set of jumps as he defeats Andy Brad Bigfoot. Our congratulations to Jack Willman Jr. Well, for Armstrong, I'm Gary Lee. That wraps it up. Thanks for joining us here in Memphis, Tennessee. We'll see you next week for another edition of Trucks and Tractor Power. Now, here's news about an exciting new home video from Diamond P Sports. It's time to shake, battle, and roll. Time to shake, battle, and roll. Call 1-800-453-2800 for 70 minutes of awesome air-grabbing rooster tail spring action from the worlds of monster truck racing, truck and tractor pulling, and mud bogging. Relive the great moments